Home alone for several years. A Michigan woman has been charged after police say the mother left her children home alone for several years in deplorable conditions. 34-year-old Kelly Bryant faces 3 counts of first-degree child abuse. Investigators say she left her 15-year-old son and 2 daughters, ages 12 and 13, alone in a home for nearly 5 years. They were surrounded by mold and trash as high as 4 feet, along with human waste.
Kind of reminds me of the commercials you see where animals are living in very deplorable conditions. Well, kind of take that times 10.
Officials say the boy only came out of the house twice, including once just to feel the grass in the yard. Once a week, prosecutors say Bryant would have home delivery services drop off some food, but authorities say the children were only getting 1 loaf of bread. The teens had not been in school since they were abandoned. All 3 are said to be in good health now and staying with a relative. Bryant faces life in prison if she's convicted. A Michigan woman has been
Arresto de una madre acusada de abandonar a sus hijos en condiciones de...
That's sad, man, honestly. Hey, shalom, shalom. Hey, first and foremost, I'd like to start up with giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostle and elders, the great millstone, who do well, peace and blessings to the house of David, the elect. All right, Yahweh been the name who the world, and he calls God. Yahweh Shai been the name who the world, and he calls Jesus Christ. All right, those are the true biblical names of the Heavenly Father, his only begotten Son, who you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans should be calling on within these last days, and a hope for salvation. All right, this is just a quick video regarding these so-called black women in America and how wicked and careless they are towards their children and how evil they are towards their children and the conditions and the lack of love that are we're witnessing in these last days according to the scriptures, because iniquity have abounded, the love of many shall wax cold. But I'm trying to make this quick and edifying to the point. Just something I seen on social media regarding these women. It says sad news. Said a toddler died after being babysitted by a trusted friend who threw the infant against the wall, causing him to suffer brain damage. It said a 21-year-old Michigan woman is accused of fatally injuring an infant boy who died after intentionally surviving injuries allegedly inflicted by the babysitter. All right, it says Kamora Hodges, 21, is currently charged with child abuse in the first degree. But officers said they are working with the prosecutors for upgraded charges. According to WDIV, the child identified by his mother as Kyrie intentionally survived his injuries, but the Roseville Police Department announced Wednesday that he was dead. Said he was only 1 and he knows how to count to 5. Mother Taylor Stark said before her son's death, according to WJBK report, it has been a week, but it feels like forever. All right, and this is the carelessness of these women, because a lot of these women, they will go to social media and put up a post and say, who's willing to watch my child while I go do such and such. All right, you can't just leave your child with any untrustworthy people and look at the results. They, killed the child, man. But that's the carelessness of these women. All right, but that's the rest of the article, and I guess this is, that's the child and that's the mother. All right. I say son passed away today at 5:55 a.m. I will literally never be the same. My life is over. I say, Taylor, I'm sorry, but this might be my last time watching Kyrie. I put them for a nap because they both was crying. When we came from outside, I also went to sleep, but I awake up just now, and he was in the bathroom eating a bar of fucking Dow soap. He won't spit it out, and he just chew on it and not listening, man. But this is what I was saying, though. No matter what, when I go to sleep, he feels the need to be sneaky, but he can literally do whatever he want here. I don't know what's going on, but I can't keep up with this behavior because normally children listen to me, and I don't want to be responsible when he do shit while I'm asleep, because now it's like I can't even take a nap while he he here because he's getting into more shit. Well, as a mother or the caregiver of the child, your responsibility is to watch over that child, not leave that child unattended. Because we know children are adventurous and they can get into things, man. All right, but the woman, she's outside of her role to where, now she complains about the same duties that she was put on this earth to do. All right. Those are just the conversations they had. I mean, you could read those, but I want to get into this story. It says, lock her up, may justice be served. Well, this was the woman that the news article was going into about. All right. It says, mother arrested after abandoning her 3 young children and leaving them to live alone in a home for years. So this is the police report. All right. And it goes to how this lady abandoned her 3 children for 4 years, man, to live alone. And you see the images of the house. Matter of fact, here they go right here. You see feces everywhere, vomit. All right. This is the condition that these kids was living under. All right. So just some quick precepts. Go in, Lord willing, be edifying. Lamentations 4:3 says, let me go to it says, I'm going to start the first. It says, how is gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. It says, the precious sons of Zion compared to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the potter's hand? It says, even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their youngs. Said the daughter, even though we know that daughter is going to, the whole nation, but you could liken this to these women. All right, the daughter of my people has become cruel, like ostriches in the wilderness.
I'm gonna walk next door for a minute, guys.
It's just,
all right, 10-4.
Copy. It says, the tongue of the sucking child cleave to the roof of his mouth for the thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man bringeth it unto him. It says, they that did feed delicate are desolate in the streets. They were brought up in scarlet embrace dunghills. So, the woman our people have become cruel. Even it say the ostriches, take better care of their, their eggs. Because the ostriches are careless when it comes to, hatching eggs, man. Because they'll go back and stump over them, and that's likened to these women, man. All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28. Verse 56, it says, the tender and delicate woman among you, which shall not adventure to set her soul or her foot upon the ground of delicateness and the tenderness, her eye shall be evil towards her husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and towards her daughter, and towards her young one that cometh out from beneath her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear. For she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege, in the straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. All right, but the point was in 56. The evil eye of the woman has become evil towards even her husband, her children, her sons, her daughter. And this is a perfect example, because the fact that you left your children for 4 years to fend for themselves, is very evil and unloving of a mother to do so. All right. And being the fact that, the scriptures say raise up a child in the way that they should go, and they should not depart. Well, those children were raised in a beast-like environment. So what those children are gonna adapt beastly ways. Like they say, if you they say if a child was it's like this analogy with the child growing up around a bunch of wolves, where that child, that human will begin to believe that it is a wolf. All right. And that's what it was like with these children, because they was left unattended, uneducated, not taught how to properly groom and clean. All right. And that's was the results, because their mother forsook them. All right. This is Isaiah 32:9 says, Isaiah 32:9 says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear to my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, you careless woman. For the vintage shall fail, and their gathering shall not come. All right. So, all this, these catering to these women that being responsible for their own actions, accountable for their actions. Well, the Lord is going to cause all that to cease, all the proudness, the evilness, All right, that's why this place got to go, because leaving in the hands of 2/3, we will continue going through the same curses. All right, so the Lord got to intervene and do away with the dross of our people. All right, that unwanted material. All right, and that's likened to 2/3 of the nation of Israel, of you so-called Negro, Latino Americans, man, specifically so-called black women. All right, because hey man, you neck and neck with when it comes to Esau, Edom, and this wickedness, man. All right. Hey man, words can't even describe how evil that is to, put your children to that. And then they had, when you look into the story, they had different family members to come drop food off. Well, like Elder D-Mass said, well, what kind of ain't shit family members those is to even know those kids are in that position to just drop food at the door and going about their merry ways, man. So that's why this place got to go, man. So with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Again, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Again, double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone, who do well. Peace and blessings to the house of David elect. Shalom.
Children were found living alone in deplorable conditions after discovering their mother had abandoned them for years. Our Victor Williams is following the story for us tonight. Victor, we're learning that mother has been arrested. What else can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right. The mother has been arrested, Pam, but we're told that these kids were actually inside of this house for years, at least since 2021. This is the house behind me that has that orange sticker right there on the window, but we're told these kids were only 12, 13, and 15. Now, authorities, they said that the mom would drop off food from time to time, but she's a 34-year-old woman that's now being held at the Oakland County Jail, with the case now being turned over to the prosecutor for review. We are expecting charges to come in the next few days or so, but the only reason authorities ever stepped in the first place was because the landlord actually called 911. He contacted deputies after not hearing from the mother since about December, and that's what started this welfare check. Take a look at some of this video from inside of the place. We're told that the house was just so unsanitary that evidence techs, they had to wear hazmat suits in order to investigate. Now, we're talking about piles of garbage in rooms as high as 4 feet tall, human feces overflowing in the toilet, and then also the bathtubs. Apparently they were living on that food that people would bring nearby. Even also strangers would sometimes bring that food up to the door. Now also we are being told that the mother had not spoken to the 2 girls that were in there for years, but she would go and actually speak to the son from time to time. The kids were not in school. They actually spent their entire time at the home watching TV and then playing video games. The conditions in the house were so bad that the kids had to sleep on the floor, the boy had a mattress, and the girls had to sleep on pizza boxes. So we're actually going to go and hear from Sheriff Michael Bouchard on what these kids are now having to go through, as well as what they now have to bounce back from.
Our first focus is in trying to make sure these kids get what they need to begin the process of moving forward. The second very important part of this is, how did 3 kids fall through the cracks so terribly? How did the community, relatives, the schools, no one knew to reach out to us? How did that happen? And so that's going to be a big part of what I've already directed our investigations to figure out.
Now, while all of this was going on inside of the house, we're told